Good day, everyone. Welcome to this Board of Commissioners regularly scheduled meeting. Today is May 26, 2026. It is now 12:01 p.m. Here at GHURA's main office in the beautiful village of Sinahan. Let's take a roll call. Vice Chair Sanchez. Thank you very much. Commissioner Diaz.
Here.
Thank you. Commissioner Rice.
Present.
Thank you much. Commissioner Corpus.
Present.
Thank you much. Commissioner Torres.
Present.
Thank you. We are all present. We have a quorum. We will proceed. But before we go into item number 2, the executive director shared with us some news. The passing of Sonny Perez's father, Rosendo Perez Jr. May we offer a moment of silence as well. Thank you very much, everyone. And for all those who have lost a loved one recently, please know of our thoughts and prayers for your families. Let us move on to item number 2, board meeting public announcements, which is located in your packets. The first one is, the first printing is Tuesday, May 19th, 2026, which is there, and then Sunday, May 24th, which is also there. Okay. All is in order. We're moving on. Item number 3, approval of previous board minutes of May 12th, 2026, located in your packets. I think Commissioner Diaz, you were pointing out something earlier. Right on the.
Oh, yeah, so page 8, under paragraph 2, or the second paragraph, just remove the comma on after Mrs. So punctuation. Chairman, can I make a recommendation
Sure.
before we approve the minutes, or should it be after?
Let's go ahead and approve the minutes first,
Okay.
and then we'll give a recommendation.
Okay.
Corrections, and call for motions.
Make a motion to approve the minutes of the last board meeting on May 12th, with some correction.
Okay. We have a motion for approval with subject to correction. Bring a second.
Also,
Okay. Any further, meetings with the consent. This is a discussion.
Yes.
Go ahead.
I guess it's to the director, right? Is.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not sure if there's any challenges getting out the minutes prior, like maybe 3 days prior to having our meeting. So that way we can review it and, make the necessary corrections. So that way we're not spending, a lot of time before we meet to review the minutes. Is that a possibility?
Yes, of course it is. And it's duly noted, and we will make sure that that happens for future meetings. Our apologies that it hasn't been going out in a more timely manner in advance. We will make sure it's done.
No, I
Thank
think
you.
it's just a matter of, the commissioners wanting to do it ahead of time. That way we can, cut some time during the board meeting instead of having to read it during the board meeting. And review it. We can do all of these edits ahead of time and then straight into the board.
I think the intent is always there to get it out in advance, but it's pretty time consuming to go through and listen to the entire board meeting and have it done as accurately as possible. So we will just have to get it done as soon as the meeting is over, I guess, get it started. We will, duly noted, your request is duly noted. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, any further discussion? If none, may I call for the vote. All in favor, please say aye. Aye, thank you very much. Motion passes unanimously. Thank you, commissioners. Moving on to item number 4. New business intent of award. This is a rebid IFB GHURA -26-009, modernization of fiscal and mod office. Madam Executive Director, floor is yours.
Thank you, Chairman. Intent of award RE-bid or rebid IFB GHURA -26-009, modernization of fiscal and mod offices. Bid opening for the subject project was held on May 8th, 2026 at 2:00 p.m. A total of 13 bidders registered for the bid and given bid specifications, of which 3 submitted a bid. Listed below is the result of the bid submission, which was opened and read out aloud publicly. Vendor number 1 was Handsome LLC with a bid bond of 15% of the total bid amount. It's 60 calendar days. They were awarded base bid item number 1 at $208,127.42. Vendor number 2 was Sunrise LLC with a bid bond of 15% of the total bid amount. Base bid item number 1, their bid was $348,000. Vendor number 3 was Premier International Inc., DBA Carpet Masters and the Shutter Factory with a bid bond cashier's check of 15% of the total bid amount. Their base bid item number 1 bid was at $984,000. The government estimate was $145,591. The next pages give a breakdown of each of the item descriptions for the bids. It shows Handsome LLC's breakdown for their $208,127.42, as well as Sunrise LLC's breakdown for their $348,000 bid, and Premier International Inc., DBA Carpet Masters and Shutter Factory, their breakdown for their bid of $984,000. Page 4. The Guam Housing and Urban Renewal Authority, GHURA's mission is to provide affordable, decent, safe, and sanitary housing through the maintenance of our existing units to ensure that the facilities owned and managed by GHURA are safe and appealing to clients. The GHURA main office houses the fiscal division, the modification or mod division. I think that's supposed to say modernization, apologies, the modernization mod division and MIS division on the second floor, covering approximately 1,536 square feet. The fiscal division is responsible for overseeing and managing all accounting for GHURA and CDBG-DR. The mod division is responsible for various programs for public housing. The MIS division oversees the GHURA Management Information System. The expansion is necessary to provide an appropriate and safe working space and environment for staff to conduct accounting and programmatic tasks. The renovation and upgrade allow for growth and expansion of staff. This will involve reconfiguring the current layout and upgrading the entire area. In review of the bid result, Handsome LLC provided the lowest responsive and responsible bid. The committee members determined to proceed with the award to Handsome LLC in the amount of $208,127.42 for bid item number 1. The project timeline for bid item 1 is 60 calendar days at the cost of $208,127.42 with no option periods.
Very much. So this is here in the main office, right?
Yes, it's on the second floor. It's it's the side just directly above us from the stairway to the left. The other side is the CDRP&E section. And they've really needed to have this done because the configuration right now is not suitable for the number of staff that is there, and having it redone will allow for additional staff should we need the additional staff, and actually we will need the additional staff. So it's upgrade that we've been waiting to have happen on that side of the building.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. And how many workstations are we looking at getting out of this?
We're gonna get 10, from
10.
6 to 10, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Any other questions, commissioners?
I don't think of my question. I know I've asked this before, right? You know how we itemize the description of what the work that they're gonna perform? So I noticed that for Hanson, it's not as detailed as the other two bidders. So for example, removing the old cubicles, right? Is Hanson also gonna provide that service to us? Where they're gonna take away the old cubicles? Is that service provided in item number 3?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
Okay,
So Hanson is on number 1, it's existing cubicle demo. It doesn't say that they're going to take it, but it is part of our scope of work.
okay,
So they will have to take it and dispose of their property.
okay. Cause even to include like adding new communication outlets, right? Where would that section, because I feel like maybe that's why the bid is that amount, because are they really gonna provide that service?
They would have to, ma'am. Yes, because especially when they're going from 6 to 10, so they're gonna have to make sure that they have 10 working stations now instead of 6.
I just wanna make sure, cause that I'm just, understanding why the total amount is, that low.
was actually higher than the government estimate though.
Yeah, but
Right.
from all the other ones, right?
Yeah.
It's huge.
Maybe, that was Irvin that was speaking, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and so if you look at the government estimate of $145,591, and yes, the others may have had a little bit more detail, but they may have been wanting to do more than was needed from the bid that was put out. Would that be correct, Irvin?
I think it's just the way they broke out the scope of work. Some of our estimates, when they come in, they go for word from our scope of work. Some contractors, they just lump it. And so that's kind of how they come up with their estimate. But everything, if you go detail by line on the scope of work, it will show what they're supposed to do, and they usually give you a lump sum for a bulk of the work, like all of the cubicles, or they'll give you the demolition and then ordering and shipping. So it kind of depends on the contractor, how they break down their scope of work to put their estimate together.
And if I recall, right, based on a previous discussion that we did have on something similar, what you put here is what they put there. Right, we try not to alter the verbiage that they use,
Yes.
and the way they categorize it, yes, yeah. So this is, what you're saying is that this is the way that they've, compartmentalized these functions.
Yes.
But they need to still fulfill the scope of work, which is clearly outlined in the.
Yes, especially when they sign that contract, the scope of work is part of that contract.
Yeah, I just wanna be sure, because then, that's where we come into change orders, because maybe we missed something. I just wanna ensure that whatever we're requesting, it's part of the quote or the cost that, they're providing to us.
And the government estimate of 145, that was actually done before the Iran war. And so a lot of things have gone up since February.
Oh, that's just since February? Thank you for the clarification. Questions, any other questions? Okay, if none, may, call for motion.
I will move to approve intent of award regarding bid IFB GHURA -26-009. Modernization of fiscal and mod office to Hanson LLC. As they provided the lowest responsive and responsible bid in the amount of $208,127.42 for bid item number 1. The project timeline is 60 calendar days with no option periods.
Thank you, Commissioner Delia. May I get a second? Okay, all right, thank you, Commissioner Torres, a second. Any further discussion? All right, if none, may I call for the vote, please raise your hand. All right, thank you very much. Motion passes unanimously for rebid IFB -26-009. Thank you, Commissioners. Moving on to item number 2 on new business, resolution number FY 2026-018, a resolution approving the annual PHA Plan for Public Housing and Section 8 Housing Choice Voucher Programs for FY 2027 and approving the Capital Fund Program CFP 5-year action plan from 2025 to 2030. Madam Executive Director, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Chairman. And if I may just point out, if you take a look at our agenda item for this resolution, right? As you read it, it included the Section 8 Housing Choice Voucher Program. However, this is the correct resolution number, but the description of the resolution is, I will read from the resolution itself. Our agenda item included Section 8 Housing Choice Voucher Programs, but the resolution itself does not. So if I may read from the resolution. Resolution number FY 2026-018. Resolution approving the annual Public Housing Agency, PHA, Plan for Public Housing for calendar years 2026 FY 2027, fiscal year 2027, and approving the Capital Fund Program, CFP, 5-year action plan from 2026 to 2030. And if I may also point out that our agenda item did show the 5-year action plan as 2025 to 2030, but it should correctly read 2026 to 2030. And my apologies for those errors. Okay, I will continue. Whereas pursuant to Section 511 of the Quality Housing and Work Responsibility Act, in parentheses, QHWRA of 1998, the Guam Housing and Urban Renewal Authority is mandated to develop and submit a public housing agency, in parentheses, PHA, annual plan to the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, HUD. And whereas Section 9 of the U.S. Housing Act of 1937 is the statutory basis for the Public Housing Capital Fund Program, CFP, as created as part of the Quality Housing and Work Responsibility Act, QHWRA of 1998. And whereas the PHA annual plans for the public housing is a comprehensive guide to the authority's policies, programs, operations, and strategies, and progress for meeting local housing needs and goals for implementation for the upcoming fiscal year. And whereas the Capital Fund Program, CFP 5-year action plan, outlines the capital improvements to be undertaken within the 5-year period. The capital improvements are necessary activities to ensure long-term physical and social viability of the PHA's public housing developments. And whereas the goals and objectives of the PHA annual plans, in parentheses, calendar year 2026/fiscal year 2027, and the CFP 5-year action plan are consistent with Guam's 5-year consolidated plan, which identifies and prioritizes the housing and community development needs of Guam. And whereas the PHA annual plans were prepared with the PHA plan requirements 24 CFR Part 903, and the CFP 5-year plan was prepared with the Capital Fund Program requirements 24 CFR Part 905. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Commissioners of the Guam Housing and Urban Renewal Authority hereby approves the Public Housing Agency, PHA, annual plans for the public housing calendar year 2026/fiscal year 2027, and Capital Fund Program 5-year action plan 2026 to 2030. And if you have any questions, I do believe we have Pat Luces, who oversees the Capital Funds Program, present to answer them.
Thank you very much. I know this is a pro forma thing that we need to approve every so often periodically. Could you just give us a quick summary on some of the revisions to the PHA plan, if you don't mind? Just a high level summary of some of the big changes.
Okay, Mike, if I can go ahead and just,
Sure.
Mr. Chairman.
Yep.
Yeah, so, usually every year we submit the, PHA plan,
Mhm.
CP action plan together with section 8. But on the section 8 plan, we're gonna actually address it in a later meeting.
Okay.
Some of the items that need to be, added on there.
Okay,
And then on the 2025 and to 2030, the actual year is supposed to be 2026 to 2030. So there was a typo on the 2025. So it should be 2026 to 2030 as the 5-year plan.
okay. How about any main changes on a high level with regard to the elements of the PHA plan?
There's no big changes on that.
Okay, okay.
If I may, Chairman, I think page 9, if you take a look at the top of the page under the units with approved vacancies for modernization and then the other capital grant programs, that kind of gives a summary of all the things that they are um, wanting to use the funding for. Just give you an idea. So the emergency safety and security grant that they've applied for will be used to install surveillance cameras or other measures to deter criminal activities in the development, and also funding for the housing-related hazards, for mitigation of radon and mold and moisture for the various amps, et cetera, and many things that we've been wanting to do, like installation of boundary signage. So I think that whole paragraph there gives you an idea of all the plans that they have to use those capital grant funds for.
Glad to see security is there.
Mr. Chairman, I'll just add,
Sure.
this will also cover the amp units in each of the 4 amp sites. So whenever there is a unit that needs to be major renovations or any modernization that need to be done, this grant covers that as well. One of the other bigger projects that we're working on, or that we'll be working on, is the lead-based paint. So that's something that we will be doing this next 5-year. The abatement for one of the sites.
Okay. Good. Commissioners, any other questions?
Oh, yeah, in the plan elements B, it says, revision of the existing PHA plan elements, it says, found it as check marks, substantial deviation and significant amendments. Can you explain that?
Yeah, so the substantial deviation is whenever there is a change in our plan. So let's say, for example, there is going to be a change on maybe the charges of what we're charging for the resident. Because our initial plan says we're gonna do it one way, if there is a change in any of our policies, we would have to address it, we would have to mention it. We would have to mention it on the plan that there is going to be a significant amendment or a substantial change. So we just need to make sure that we, as part of the process, in order to change that policy, we gotta note it in the on the PHA plan. So that's what that means.
Okay, where was that in the plan?
So this one here just talks about the significant amendment modification. We go to B1, it's the last paragraph there. This was the last one that we did. So GHURA considers a significant amendment modification in the capital fund for the 5-year plan as discretionary change in the plan or policies of the authority that fundamentally alerts the mission, goals, objectives of the plans of the authority. Any significant amendment modification will require authority to submit a revised CFP 5-year plan that has met the full hearing process requiring a formal approval of the Board of Commissioners. Specifically, the following will be considered to constitute the significant amendment and modification. Okay.
Got it.
So it's an update to that policy statement.
Sure. On the capital fund program for the 5-year action plan, starting on page 1, these are government estimates on it. We're still gonna be bidding on the, putting on project
Right.
for each individual loan. With the grant award at $3,229,15. That's also a fixed amount.
at this time. I mean, we have them year after year, they're all basically the same, actually lower than the grant. Still, but, individual areas to be improved, that's based on a government estimate right now.
Right.
So we'll be putting out for bid individual.
That's right.
Any other questions, Commissioner? Okay. If none, may I talk for motion?
I move to approve resolution number FY 2026-018. Resolution approving the annual public housing agency or PHA plan for public housing calendar year 2026 and fiscal year 2027. And approving the capital fund program CFP 5-year action plan 2026 and 2030.
Thank you very much. I have a motion on the floor. May I get a second?
I will second that motion.
Thank you, Commissioner Tumi, for the second. Any further discussion? If none, may I call for the vote. All in favor, please say aye, raise your hand. Thank you, Commissioner. The motion passes unanimously. Moving on to item number 5, Executive Director's Report, Project Updates. Madam Executive Director, for the doors.
Thank you, Chairman. I just have a couple items that I would like to share with the board. First one has to do with GHURA's participation and support during school career day activities. I just wanted to mention that for a couple of years now, GHURA has been asked to participate in career day activities at GDOE schools, like a middle school as well as high school, right? And our Ross coordinator, Jenna Alano, is usually the one I ask to coordinate GHURA's participation in these. And this year, GHURA participated in Ukudu High School's Job Fair Career Expo on May 15th. And I would just like to give recognition to the team she was able to bring together for that. It was Patrick Lucis representing the Capital Funds Program, Tua Sakisa, a program coordinator at the CDBG-DR program, Brittany Kanata, our paralegal too, with our legal office, and Robin Macareg from our Family Self-Sufficiency Program, or FSS. And I hear that they did an excellent job of representing GHURA and giving presentations on their positions in their respective divisions here. And I just feel that, that kind of support that we give back to the community helps to further interest in what GHURA's mission is, and hopefully attract, future candidates for positions here. So kudos to them for being supportive and agreeing to give those presentations. And then the second thing I wanted to mention is that, you're aware that GHURA had to go through all 4 of our AMP sites, had to go through the Inspire physical inspections that is required by HUD of public housing assets. And I'm pleased to announce that all 4 sites passed the inspections. So kudos to the team for their hard work and dedication and their efforts to make sure that our housing units are, meet the standards that HUD requires for our residents' safety, health and safety. And then lastly, I just wanted to mention that, GHURA CDBG-DR's job fair was really an impressive, well-coordinated event. And I would like to give kudos to Kim Berseman and her HR team, Carlo Anglichel and Thalia Pablo, and then Deputy Director and our CDBG-DR grant manager, Fernando Esteves, on his DR team for a job well done. And he is on the meeting with us, and I would like to maybe have him answer any questions you may have regarding the outcome of that job fair. So Dee Dee, please.
Yes, half a day. First of all, really again to echo kudos to the team. The team really put it all together. Ms. Kim was a champion, but I also want to give credit to the agencies and on the record that supported GHURA. And so those agencies were Department of Land Management, Department of Parks and Recs, Guam EPA, Department of Labor, of course, supported us with their staff as well, and Department of Public Works. And we were fortunate to get support with HR specialists, and we know that's a very limited field, so we're very grateful for that support. That's the Public Defender's Office, Port Authority of Guam, Guam International Airport, University of Guam, as well as the Department of Administration. And fortunately, we were even able to get some volunteers with some GovGuam retirees who came to support. So, kudos to them. Public service never leaves us, even after retirement, I guess, right? We're still compiling the stats, but easily over 150 applicants. And we'll get those final stats soon and share it with the board, of course, and the rest of the team. We are preparing a press release as well. We're just waiting for the compilation of the final stats.
Thank you very much. If you were able to stop by, commissioners, I was there. It was a sight to behold. People were commenting about just the way that it flowed and how impressive it was. But I think even more impressive was to Dee Dee's point, right? I wanted, on behalf of the board, I'd like to extend our deepest gratitude to all of our partners and those that came from the different agencies to those that are retired that came out of the woodwork to help. It's a great show, right? And it proves it proves the things that we can do together, and it shows what we're capable of, right? In order to put on something like that, they had representatives from the different agencies collaborating on the site. Some of the directors showed up to show their support. So it was a true effort, right? And like I said, I want to, on behalf of all of us on the board, I'd like to express to all of the leadership government that showed up and all of those employees that worked the floor, right? Our deepest gratitude for the work. It was really impressive. And I think that it sets a mode and a model for good things to come, right? And things that we're capable of doing together as a government and as a community. So please extend to all of your colleagues, our deepest gratitude for their support. And I hope that this is not the last, right? I think that there's a great opportunity to do things like this in the future and collaborate. Shows great collaboration across government agencies. So thank you for putting this together. Thank you to the team, to the ones that you expressed earlier, Madam Executive Director. Please take back with you, our deepest gratitude as well for all the hard work. A lot of times these things go unnoticed, and so it's wonderful when we're able to express those in public and let people know that their efforts are deeply appreciated, and it hasn't gone unnoticed. So please extend our gratitude to everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on to item number 4. Item number 6. General discussion announcements. Our next proposed board meeting is Tuesday, June 9th, 2026 at 12 p.m. Please mark your calendars, commissioners. Of course, we will confirm that ahead of time. Any further announcements or discussions? No? You sure?
Not for
Are
me.
you sure? Okay. If not, may I call for a motion to adjourn at 12:41.
Motion to adjourn.
Okay, I got a motion, make it a second.
I second that.
Thank you very much. Anybody opposed? All right. Have a great week. Happy Memorial Day to everybody. Thank you for everybody's service and all of those that we keep with us. All right. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Do we need to do that time?
Thank you.
What did you say?
Yep.
Um,